Hello, I'm Elisa Nishatka from 4C for Children, and today we are going to make some homemade Play-Doh. So what you're going to need, some flour, a lot of salt, cream of tartar, you'll find that in the spice section, some vegetable oil, and then whatever you want to use to color the Play-Doh. You can use tempera paint, or you can use liquid watercolor or food coloring, but my favorite thing to use is Kool-Aid packets, because not only does it add the color, but it adds that lovely scent. So we're gonna get started. The first thing we need is 2 cups of flour. Then a half a cup of salt. No, sorry, 1 cup of salt. I've also played around with the amount of salt sometimes, because sometimes it's kind of fun to add a little more texture. So I'll add, an additional half cup of salt, or I think sometimes I've even added more than that. Okay. And then we need 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. So I usually, when I can find cream of tartar like in bulk or really good price, I get it, because you use quite a bit of it for one batch of the Play-Doh. And I am just eyeballing it this time because I didn't have a teaspoon, but it's 4 teaspoons. Mix all that up. Actually, you add your Play-Doh first. You add your Kool-Aid first. And I didn't have 2 packs of the same flavor, so we are going to actually do orange and cherry, and that'll be really fun. Oh, it smells good already. Now, I would suggest if you are doing this with toddlers, you might not want to do the Play-Doh variation because they will try to eat it, but preschoolers, I've never had an issue with them wanting to eat it. Well, maybe they tasted it, but it didn't taste very good, so they didn't eat any more of it. But I would be careful with toddlers. Okay, once that is all mixed up, you're gonna add water, and you're gonna need to either use 2 cups of boiling water, or you can cook it on the stove. This recipe is meant to be cooked on the stove, but in a pinch, you can just use boiling water. I think it works better on the stove, but you don't always have a stove at school. And then also 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And I suggest using the vegetable oil instead of olive oil, because olive oil might discolor it a little bit. But I suppose in a pinch it would be just fine. Okay, so this is when I would usually be cooking it on the stove. And if you're doing it on the stove, as it's cooking, you'll start to notice it starts to kind of ball up, and that's when you know it's about ready. So using the boiled water, most likely I'm just gonna need to knead it a little bit more once we get to that point. So right now, just mixing it up. Now, why would you want to make homemade Play-Doh versus buying Play-Doh? Well, I think it smells better. I really don't like the smell of the store-bought Play-Doh at all, so this is nice. Plus, it's a really nice soft Play-Doh, and obviously you can do different colors, you can do different scents. If you want to add like essential oils to it for a scent, you can do that. In the fall, I like to put like cinnamon in it and make like a pumpkin pie smell. And then at that time, that's when I use like brown tempera paint. Okay, so this is kind of went into a little ball. I am going to add a tiny bit more flour to this, because I think when you do it, on the stove, it kind of evaporates some of that liquid. So I think just a little bit more. I'm gonna knead into it, and then I'll take it out of the bowl once it's ready to be kneaded on the surface. It is pretty hot right now. So it's probably a good idea to let it sit a couple minutes. And if you're having the kids knead it, then you're gonna wanna, wait at least 15 minutes so it's really cool. Okay, so I'm gonna pull it out. It feels much better just with that little bit of flour that I added. Another thing why I like making the homemade Play-Doh is because the Play-Doh, can carry some germs, and so every so often I would make a new batch, and it was nice to be able to do that when I was in the classroom. So every month I had a new batch of Play-Doh, new scent, new color, sometimes more texture, sometimes I'd add sparkles or glitter to it. So it's nice and gushy, mushy. And as you see me kneading it, obviously this is going to be a really good thing for kids to do. It's going to build their hand muscles, their fine motor skills, and as they create things with it, they will be building their imaginations and showing creativity. So this feels really good right now. So basically, that's it to homemade Play-Doh. And just keep it in a Ziploc bag, and it'll last for quite a while. I usually would throw it out before it ever got bad even, just because there were lots of hands in it. And of course, washing hands first and washing hands after is a good rule of thumb. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed watching me make the Play-Doh, and I hope you have even more fun playing with it yourself.